Imaginary numbers. Every time I mention imaginary numbers in class, three questions usually come up. First, what are imaginary numbers? Second, who invented them? And third, what do we really need them for anyway? So, what are imaginary numbers? Are they like imaginary friends? And what if my imagination is different than yours? Contrary to what some people may tell you, imaginary numbers are not numbers that exist only in the brains of weird people. Although, aren't all numbers kind of imaginary since you can't touch them? But that's not what people have in mind when they talk about imaginary numbers. What they really mean are numbers that can be written as some real number times I, where I is the square root of -1. They look like this: 5i or -8i. So who invented imaginary numbers? Like many other mathematical concepts, developing imaginary numbers was more of a process than an invention. The Greeks were aware of the problem of square roots of negative numbers, but dismissed them as ridiculous and unworthy of discussion. Imaginary numbers were first defined in 1572 by Raphael Baumol. Many other mathematicians were slow to adopt the use of imaginary numbers. René Descartes was the first to use the term imaginary to describe this set of numbers in 1637. But it was not widely accepted until the work of Leonhard Euler and Carl Gauss in the late 1700s and early 1800s. So we know what they are and how they were developed, but what do we need them for? What's wrong with just using the real numbers? There are many applications of the imaginary numbers. For example, imaginary numbers can be used to model how electric circuits behave, or the movement of the shock absorber in a car as it goes over a bump. Imaginary numbers are used in the polarization of light, which is essential for 3D movies. Engineers use imaginary numbers in signal processing, which has applications in cellular phone technology, radar, and even biology. So even though you aren't always aware of it, imaginary numbers are part of your daily life.